here today in Nairobi with Michael Ugwu, and we're here to talk about iROKING, the sister organization of iROKO TV, which is a VOD platform for Nigerian content, audiovisual content. Michael, tell us a little bit about iROKING. What, well, I know you distribute music. What kind of music do you offer?
Okay, well, we started off focused on Nigerian music. We're a Nigerian company, but our focus is obviously a Pan-African one. So it's like we've now started to acquire content outside of Nigeria, but it's video content and it's audio content. So African music content.
Okay, so you also are looking for music videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And how do you distribute it? What channels do you, what outlet channels do you have for the music?
Okay, basically the focus is web and mobile.
Yeah.
So we have a website, we have our mobile apps on Android, iOS, Symbian, and BlackBerry, and Windows 7 as well,
yeah.
Windows Mobile. And so web. So web is for audio and for video. So we distribute via iROKING.com. We also distribute on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
We're YouTube's biggest partner in Africa. Since we started managing music videos, we've had well over 120 million video views, and we've been able to monetize that content, manage it, protect it on behalf of the industry, which has been actually fantastic for both of us.
Okay, that's great. And you've been telling me that perhaps contrary to iROKO TV, you also have quite a big audience in Nigeria. How's that? Because the web infrastructure is better there, or how does that work?
No, I guess because like everything is data, it's content, but the thing with iROKO TV, it's movies, but with iROKING, it's audio. So we have smaller MP3 files. So we optimize specifically for mobile. So by the time you get a file, a stream on your mobile, it's like a megabyte, right? Which you're not going to struggle too much pulling a megabyte of data from a server as opposed to a 1 gigabyte movie.
Yeah.
So that way, just generally, we can get a lot more traction a lot quicker locally.
And is it a paying model for the consumer, or is it a free model, or can they choose? Because I can imagine that for a Nigerian listener already the data traffic is a cost, so...
Yeah, definitely. The data traffic is a cost that you always have to consider. Right now we're primarily ad supported, so we generate money from advert revenue. We do downloads for our diaspora market, so we partner with iTunes and Amazon. So if you're in the US, if you're in the UK, you can actually download our artist content there. Generally speaking, locally we're focused on streaming. We're looking at different pay models and subscription models, but with pay models we found that the download economics right now are pretty bad. So if you want to pay by premium SMS, you're going to pay like potentially 100 naira a track, and by the time you share the revenue with the operators, an artist is going to be left with like 10 to 20% of the revenue from their own content. So it's a bit exploitative in that sense. Then the other two channels would be mobile money and credit cards, but they're both still in their infancy. But we are talking to different players in that area. But at the same time, we always be, look, let's get people using these apps, let's get people using the site, let's get people accessing licensed content. Then you can also talk about monetizing and other, nice ways to obviously push money back into the industry.
Okay, so what you're doing right now is building up sufficient audience base, and then kind of figuring out or building a monetizing model. Exactly.
We feel that's the only way. We did that with iROKO TV. We waited till we had at least 500,000 registered users before we now introduce our subscription package. Because we believe that, look, if there's, we offered such a fantastic service, such a bouquet of content, that it only makes sense that, that you can actually put a price on it. When you start off and people aren't used to it, there's no paying culture, digital paying, e-commerce paying culture on the continent. So it's like you have to really get people excited about the content. So we believe this iROKING platform is getting people excited about music content. So at some point they'll be able to say, okay, this is why I'm paying for it.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about the music and the musical artists. Are you aiming for very well-known artists, upcoming artists, and how do you pay for a flat fee, or do you do like a split share? How does that work?
Basically, we talk to all artists. When we first started, obviously we were approaching the larger artists, because with the larger artists they come with their own fan bases. So any platform, it will be any normal strategy.
You can expand also your own.
Exactly from that base. So we started off talking to very big artists, mid artists, low tier artists, but it's a platform for everybody. Obviously we really have to assess your content to make sure that it's suitable, that you're generating infringing on someone else's copyright. Like maybe you're not using a Jay-Z, you know, beat or whatever without clearance or something. We do that as best possible to manage the fact to manage that copyright risk. So we talk to different guys. Generally speaking, we have a revenue sharing agreement. It depends. We do sign artists on exclusives and on non-exclusives. So the reason we actually said, okay, fine, we're interested in signing guys on non-exclusives is because of the environment that we're actually in. We are one of the first movers in this area in terms of galvanizing such a large platform, you know, putting the industry together on one platform. So we felt that, okay, in order for us to actually try and extract the best value and to actually find what the value is, we really want to manage artist content holistically. So we're talking about managing what goes on the video content, managing what goes on the audio content, managing how it's distributed. We believe in hyper distribution. We're not just saying put it on one platform, we're saying let it be managed on one platform and pushed out to as many.
Oh yeah, because you were saying you also publish on YouTube,
on
iTunes,
publish on iTunes, or we syndicate content. But we find that it has to be coordinated syndication, because if it's chaotic syndication, you will never get any value out of your content. You'll just find it anywhere, any and everywhere.
What I also think has a lot of value is, should I say, heritage African music. There's a lot of very good older African music around. Are you looking into that?
Yeah, definitely. It's you know the thing about Nigeria is or in Africa in general, we before the age of digital, we were ruled obviously by CDs and the CD markets and pressing CDs. Now what would generally happen is a marketer may who were I guess de facto pirates in a way, would basically get the rights from artists, print the CDs, but there's nowhere to track, once the album isn't popular anymore, they don't print it anymore. And this goes for artists who may have released content 2 years ago. Talk less of the guys who released content in the 60s, right? There's no one printing those CDs.
And they made great music.
They made great music, but I mean, you find you actually find like platforms abroad that are actually quite interested in very old content, the Fela type of content, the Victor Waifo type of content, the Sons, Osadebe type of content, Magic Flashek type of content, Raskimono. These are guys who have just been around for such a long time. They're not obviously not at the forefront in the industry anymore, but they're legendary. So being able to digitize that content was something that was actually pretty important to us, and we've been able to sign some deals with some labels to obviously digitize that content. We're talking about audio and video content.
Not only Nigerian.
It's not only Nigerian. It's obviously right now it's the artists from the region, not just Nigerian artists, but artists from the region dating back to 1963, who have been recording artists. Obviously, some of them are late, and they just have publishing deals with some of these labels. So we go forward as their digital partners and say, look, the content you have out there is digital, fantastic. Let's help you digitize the rest of your catalog, digitize the rest of your video content, and let's start putting this thing back out there again.
Yeah.
Because it can put someone, you may have a grandmother who may have left Nigeria, 40 years ago or something like that, who wants to get it, who wants to listen to the music of her youth, but she has no way to get it because it's not going to be on iTunes, it's not going to be on Amazon, and there's so many of those types of instances. So we believe in actually bringing the past, the long term, bring it because there's someone who's going to listen to it.
Yeah.
So as long as we can make it available to an audience, we're happy to do that.
That's great. Let's talk a little bit about the relation or the crossovers between iROKING TV and iROKING. I assume that you're doing some cross promotion, and I was wondering also if artists have to have a music video in order to be allowed onto the platforms that can be used for iROKING TV, or is there any cross promo in any sense? We're brother and sister companies, so we do cross promote. Definitely. iROKING TV is the bigger platform, but generally speaking, we feel that if you come onto iROKING TV and watch an Nollywood movie, the chances are you're going to be interested in some other form of African content, right? So it only makes sense to make it available, to let them know, okay, look, we have this other side, you can listen to African music, feel free, go here, iROKING.com, check it out. It's like suggesting.
It's suggesting, exactly. So definitely do that. And it's not an imperative an artist has a music video. Even though we started off in video, and people always see us as the YouTube guys, obviously our business is bigger than video, especially in the music space as well, because it's audio. And in the music space, audio is actually the dominant format. It's what can be, you can go into a studio and record an audio in half an hour. Music videos are still quite expensive. You have a lot of upcoming artists that can't actually afford to shoot music videos. So generally speaking, there's no criteria like that. Just be a recording artist with a professional recording, and we can sit down and have a chat and see how we can help promote and push your content out.
Okay, and what about other media, perhaps in the future? Because you're online, you're on mobile. Are you thinking of other platforms, television, or other, I don't know, other screens or platforms?
For music and movies, definitely. We're talking about what in flight is something that's definitely key, something we're looking at, and when we're talking about TV, it's a potential. We're still young.
Yeah.
We don't know the future, but at the end of the day.
When did you start? I'm sorry. When did you start with iROKING? Because it's quite recent.
We launched iROKING officially, iROKING.com in February of this year.
Yeah.
So that it's very young, but we've been able to build up a lot of traction. We started managing music videos a few months before that, but in terms of our web platform, mobile apps with the audio experience, it's only in February.
Yeah.
So it's still new, but regardless of anything, we're big content licensors. We believe in putting your content in as many places as possible, being device agnostic. You know, if it's in the air, if it's on TV, if it's on the internet, if it's on the radio, it doesn't matter where it is, as long as you can push it out and there's a platform to actually monetize that content and get that content promoted. It's fantastic. Legal licensed platforms.
Yes.
You know, so it could be anything.
Okay,
Sky's the limit, I guess.
And it's accessible worldwide. No, you have global. Okay.
Yeah, we get global rights. We don't have similar territorial issues as in the West. So generally speaking, for now, we sign global rights.
Okay, great. Just as a final question, because obviously you must be very interested in African Nigerian music. How do you see it evolving, or where is it at right now?
It's in a good place. It's in a fantastic place. Through the sheer hard work and determination of an industry, it's been electrified. You have artists winning awards in the US and UK. You have artists winning many awards across the continent. You know, you're seeing the cross-pollination of content. So you're seeing Congolese rap artists being popular in Nigeria, Ghanaian artists being popular in South Africa, South African artists being popular in Nigeria, Nigerian artists being popular in the UK.
It's really Pan-African.
It's Pan-African. It's literally global. So you know, there's a lot of excitement in the space. You know, it's just the way we see it. One of the biggest issues has been distribution. So we are at the forefront of solving that distribution problem.
Okay.
We just want to work and get our content distributed.
Who are some of your most successful, or what you think your best artists for now?
I think, well, without a shadow of a doubt, P Square they're like the biggest artists in Africa today. Full stop. They are our biggest artist in terms of video content. They've had two very, very big videos in the last 2-3 months. They had a video, Chop My Money, featuring Akon.
Oh yeah.
They have had a recent video we released about 3 weeks ago, Beautiful on Year, featuring Rick Ross. Chop My Money has done about 7 million views. Beautiful on Year has just done about 2.5 million views. And we're talking about a year ago, before we'd come onto the scene, none of those views would have been monetized. But literally now we're cutting, you know, checks with nice zeros behind them for artists like P Square, who have been working really hard.
Yeah, good for them.
So yeah, so we have a lot of popular, but if you're asking for the most popular, it's P Square right now.
Okay.
Data has told me that.
Okay. Well, I have to check them out. I didn't know.
Definitely, yeah, check them out, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael.
No problems.